And here we are. I don't know why Gainers always takes like 30 seconds to pop up. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Skies of Bolarius. Alright, let's tone it down to skosh. We're gonna be very
everybody
chill.
else chill out, actually. Alec needs to... Alec is fine. Everybody else needs to calm down.
Yeah, I need all of you to relax. I'm gonna start at 11 and then admonish all of you for... So welcome everyone to Skies of Bolarius. You can see we have a couple of updates. The overlay it's still not 100% finished, but I'm so happy to have you all here. And you might notice in the corner here this very lovely character art done by the incredible C. Leverett Art.
Yes.
They finished everyone's just in time for them to have to leave the campaign. But,
That's right. Gone, but never forgotten. And dead, apparently.
Retire well, Grandpa Boy. You will never die. You're in that big, lovely retirement home in the sky.
Oh, he is dead, to be clear.
No, we're all in the
graveyard
sky.
in the sky.
Like, it's not... Everything's in the sky. The retirement home in the sky, the Starbucks, it's all in the sky. So he's fine.
Yeah. Anyway, so, yes. No, Harles is fine. They're just, off doing stuff. Yes. It truly is a nightmare being alive in this capitalist hellscape that we all exist in. But that's why we have things like this to stop, relax. Like I said, I want you to consider this, like I said, you D&D ASMR. So, I'm not going to get on the mic because I moved it, so now it's too far away from me to conveniently eat the mic ASMR style.
Shame.
But thank all of you for joining us. We're going to go ahead and jump in. I'm Alakazam. Why don't you can each quickly introduce yourselves and your characters. Let's start with Gainer this time.
Hey gang, my name is Gainer. You can find me on Twitter at GayNorca, and today I will be playing Rio Pivany, Fish Folk Barbarian Warlock multi-class, and totally normal good boy.
Yeah, they're just a very delightful thembo, and I'm here for it. Omni.
Hello, everyone. I'm the Last Omnitect, your favorite robot American. You guys can catch me on my own channel, twitch.tv/thelast on Thursdays and Saturdays, and very soon a lot more days, because as of next month, I will no longer be working in Publix. Well, as of October, I'll no longer work in Publix. So I can do this all the time. In the meantime, I am currently playing everyone's favorite wizard druid, shapeshifter, Dorian the Pale, a relatively chill, serene, and largely non-verbal druid who kind of just guides everyone around and is super comfy. If I could say the word chill one more time, you have authorization to tase me. Press the red button on your console there. And that's me.
I think you should chill.
Pay money to tase on Omni.
We have a 50 channel point redemption to tase Omni.
Yeah. Please only do it 3 times. My doctor says any more than that, I'm going to have problems.
Matthew?
Greetings, wizards. I'm Matthew. Today I'm playing the part of Shale Drillnose, just a little goblin in a mech suit. Particularly an artificer in a mech suit.
Just a little goblin.
Just a little goblin. And now that I have no parental figures, keep me in line. I'm gonna mess everything up on purpose.
Well,
But of course.
Oh no, I'm gonna be dad again.
joke's on you. I'm always daddy. All right, so.
Ew. Not the same thing.
So, welcome everyone. Now, the last that we had left off, you all, as a brief, since we did take a week off, I'll say, brief kind of total recap. You witnessed this, what appeared to be a shooting star, but it's actually a broken piece from a flying castle known as the Basilica of the Heavens. Followed it out into the wilderness, found it in this giant cavern, fought hard to get it back, but you have this now mental map, a projection in your minds of several whales across the skies of Bolarius. You've all since returned to Erisbridge, down where you started, said some goodbyes to Charles Wolfoot, and are now setting off with your airship captain, the Katerina of Erisbridge. Ready to take off to the skies and look out what wild things might be, swimming into your ken. So, as you set aboard Katerina's ship, the Primrose, you can see that she has taken the pieces from the airship you all stole and affixed them to her own, made a few upgrades. You had a couple hours to kind of stop, relax, return Al and Betty, do anything around town. Is there anything in particular you guys want to buy or sell or anything like that while we're here still in town?
I don't think I ever actually made any money. No, not much. I have 6 gold.
If anyone needs to buy anything, Dorian does still have a purse with coin he is willing to give. So 35, if anyone needs it. Silver, 35 silver.
How much is splint mail in this setting?
Well, more than 35. I will say, don't forget too that you all do have some items that you picked up. Some of that marble and a few other pieces.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
True. We could probably
What if we
sell
just? What if we just steal the? What if we just sell the lodestone that Alec gave us and just get rid of it? I'm sure it has no bearing on the campaign whatsoever, so we just sell it.
Yeah, no.
Sure, it's not important.
I think we'll hold off for now. We could sell our see what we could get for our loot there and coinage, I suppose. The more marble.
I can't remember. Did we take the elk back?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. For a second, I was like, "Oh my god! Don't tell me we're about to commit grand theft elk." All right.
There was definitely a very emotional moment when we were trying to drop off the elk, where Rio was just crying and being like, "But they're my best friends. I don't want to let them go," even though they truly had met. They weren't even there when you picked them up.
Anyway, later, Harls.
Yeah.
Or bye, Harls, whatever.
All right. Well, yes, you can. Yeah, you all did go, and I will say you get your deposit back. Thankfully for the elk. Oh, we have delivered art.
So yeah, Chris is in the chat today.
Also
Oh
noticed.
my god! Way to rub it in our face that you're not on the stream, Chris.
Yeah, man, I thought you were busy.
Oh, your story's falling apart.
All right, now I just dropped a few links for everybody. Now, you can go and the general store, like I said, is right there. If there's anything you want to sell, or buy, but if you're ready to hold on to stuff, we can actually just go and head out on the ship. It's up to you.
Would there be some sort of armor, or would the the town smithy, have what I need to upgrade my armor?
They'll have some basic armors and things at the general store. There's not a huge selection. Like, they don't have any heavy armor, but they do have medium armor and light armor at the general store.
Then I'm all set. That's all I can really think of.
Yeah, unfortunately, Eris Bridge is not quite large enough to have everything.
That's
Just only the most basic stuff. Not a lot of. I mean, with the exception of like Dorian, there's no real like adventurers, and and even then, Dorian's just like a guide.
Yeah, adventure is a very flexible term with my character. I'm pretty sure by any other D&D character standards, Dorian's day-to-day is retirement for them.
Yes.
Well, have to wait till we get to the big city.
But you can see Ekaterina up on the deck, placed at this, tall woman. She, like I said, her like wild shock of like very curly red hair, just tied up, so to try and tame it somewhat. But even then, it's just like this like wrap around and then just like out, and she like looks with this wild surmise out and a harpoon in one of her hands. Like, all right, come on, we need to go.
Hi, Captain.
Dorian quietly sidles up to the top deck and takes a look around, sees what there is to do.
Well,
probably nibbling on a good berry as he does it. In fact, he will be.
Well, settling onto the ship, Ekaterina looks out and... All right. We'll head east. Once we reach the mountains, and skirt south. Anything we find on the way is ours.
Yeah. That's what Shale likes to hear. I like to hear.
Dorian gives a quiet nod to that.
And I believe you all did explain to her that you have these like mental maps for the whales.
We do. If we didn't, Shale is just like kind of bringing it forward in her mind. Just pot of whales that way, Captain. Kind of points.
And the entire ship like lurches up with this like little you just like feel the whole decking kind of like sway. It is an uneasy feeling as the whale oil engines like ripple to life and begin to kind of like and like putter their way up into the skies. Her ship is in much better condition than the one that you all had stolen, but it's also an old, relatively inexpensive ship. And you can see she like sets her harpoon and kind of folds her arms across her chest. We might be able to pick off some smaller ones. can take
We can always come back around.
Yeah. Take the carcass in. See what we can get in for blubber, bones, the oil, the ambergris. Wherever we fell it. With that, we can either make some upgrades or even buy a bigger ship. Taking down an entire pod, we're gonna need something a little bit more than this old girl. She puts her hands back on the wheel and begins to kind of like set off, trying to catch some of the natural winds that blow through. The air is like taking you all higher and higher. You now fly a good couple thousand feet above the ground. The air is much colder up here, and she gestures to the aft deck, where you can see that outside there's these hooks that have like large coats for any of you who aren't prepared for the cold of being this high.
I feel like Dorian's always sort of dressed for rough weather and rough terrain. So he probably pulls like a fur lining out of his bag and sort of like slides it under his cloak. But other than that, not much to really do when you're used to sleeping out under the stars after like months of like traversing the wild.
He'll throw one on. Anything to feel more like a sailor. It's obviously like way too big, especially on her.
Chris, to confirm, Frizzle Pfeffer is going to follow you all into the sky for a short while. See Grandpa Woolly's owl, like, keeps after, so you get so high up into the air and just far enough that it like, for the briefest moment, seems to stop and hover and turn back and sail back down toward Harl's.
We'll wave goodbye to the bird.
Yeah, same. Dorian just quietly waving as he fades in the distance.
I'm waving, but also I'm like, wow, that owl looked so much like Frizzlepfeffer.
Rio, that was Frizzlepfeffer.
There's
Yeah, I think Rio just puts on their thick jacket, and I think they're just thick enough that most of it doesn't even bother them. I think they're like still mostly uncovered, just like relying on just truly how thick their whole shit is.
yeah.
And just be like, I love it up here. It's great. There's so many clouds this high up. You'd think that there would be less, but there's actually more.
Why would you think less?
What?
What Shale's gonna bum around the deck and see what kind of defenses we've got up. We got like
Make a perception check.
sure.
Okay. You begin looking around, and I will say most of the defenses are pretty obvious. There's obviously several harpoons that have been set along the aft castle. There's a couple much larger harpoons that have been set on hooks and actually affixed along the side decking of the ship. There's one on the port side and one on the starboard side. And you can also see that it's not like a giant ballista, but there is a harpoon launcher at the fore of the ship. Again, simple. It could launch an average size harpoon, probably up to a little bigger than an average size harpoon, but it has this this set rope to the one that's already in there that looks like it could fire and then pull back or connect to something. This harpoon thrower also has a small wooden seat built next to it, so that you could actually not just man the harpoon thrower, but actually sit there and swivel around. It gives a full 360 spin in it.
She's investigating it. She's gonna spin it all the way around, like by the seat. Like, makes a big squeak, like a big squeaky noise.
I would like to go up and spin Shale in the chair as fast as I can.
Yes.
You go and spin. Make an athletics check.
Oh no.
Let's see here.
I figured Dorian is probably just like
This is
nibbling on a
23.
berry and some trail bread, watching this with a bemused look on his face.
You
23.
You go up and you spin the entire seat and Shale because as it spins very fast. You can hear the wood creaking and the squealing of the metal bearings, and you hear very rapid footsteps, and then the entire thing stops as Katarina catches the harpoon at the end, which dead stops the harpoon thrower, and they're like, no.
Well, he spins though.
Shale tumbles out onto the deck, very dizzy. Ooh.
Cartoon birds.
Yeah.
Circling.
Go ahead.
Oh, just yeah. We gotta. I think I can. I think I can upgrade it. I just do a different.
And
Dorian's gonna survey the top. Is gonna be walking around surveying the ship's armaments. Is that the only harpoon thrower on the ship, or is there more?
The Katarina relies either on the 4 thrower or literally a harpoon in her hands.
She is full Ahab, and I gotta appreciate that.
Yeah. But I will say she's you can see her just shouting over it, Shale and Rio, this is either pointed at the blank sky or at a whale. Stop spinning it around, because if you shoot me with a harpoon, I'll kill both of you.
Space spins.
I got it. I got it. I got a little something for us in case we run into trouble. There's pirates everywhere, I've seen them.
There are
Is
no
it
pirates
another
out
spinny
here.
chair?
Good at hiding. They're always in a smaller ship underneath where you can't see them. Going up, drilling through the bottom of the hull with a big oversized drill, hand drill.
And
Not
she
that I've
frowns.
done that.
She's like, "Why don't you go below decks and make sure that the hull is reinforced?" Then
I can.
she just gives you busy work. So for Dorian, make one perception check for Dorian.
Gladly. Let's see. One day I'll find it. The rainbow connection. Here we go. That's +6. So Dorian closes his eyes. Rolled. Jesus, an 24 after mod. He closes his eyes and just sort of listens to the sky breathe and is trying to observe what's going on.
Well, you listen and try and hear and see and look. You can see that the sky opens up and extends out as you drift through some of the clouds that you've still lifted up, and you're now probably in the range of about 4,000 to 5,000 feet up in the air. The world is dropped way below you. see like little tiny movements of some, there's a few of the flocks of sheep, and there's you see like little stretches where the steps like drop down, and there's a few horses going, and large fields of flowers, but they're very tiny from up here. You do notice, however, out on the horizon, not a whale, but another fish that does frequent out here. And it's this very large shape that sends off probably some 500 feet out. It has this long, smooth, silvery body. You see this long, almost snout-like, nose that extends out, lined with very sharp teeth. Its wide fins that would fly through the air, extend out gracefully, like these beautiful, almost gossamer wings. But you actually notice a sky barracuda, as it and is moving very fast, darting across the sky. I would say, even base knowledge, you know that these things are extremely fast, and one of the few animals in all of Bolarius, frankly, but especially in the skies, that are hyper aggressive. Extremely, extremely territorial.
I'll give it a kiss, is what you're saying.
Dorian is watching off the, I imagine the starboard side. As he's a port? Okay.
Yeah, starboard side.
Oh, starboard side? Okay, yeah. So he's watching off the starboard side and sort of breathing in and looking around serenely, just taking it all in. And then he sees the sort of that silvery, flicker of motion, and his eyes dilate in, and he just sort of looks at it a little more keenly. And for anyone else on the deck, you can see he gets that sort of hyper focused. Normally he's very chill, but then when he notices things, he sort of tenses up, kind of like a wild animal or a dog that smells something. His haunches kind of rise, and he just takes the handle of his scimitar and just rap on the door, or not on the door, on the banister of the guardrail of the ship, and just sort of points and just says, "We might have a problem."
You can see Katerina looks out. She reaches into her pack and takes out a spyglass and looks, and then sets it back. She has her harpoon in one hand. All right, everyone on deck, be ready. We're not going to let it get behind us. We're gonna fly straight up to it. We're gonna knock it out of the fucking sky.
I look around, there. And I'm already on deck, and I already have everything I own with me, and then I just give a big thumbs up. I'm ready to hit it.
You hear a big bang under deck, I'll be right there. Hang on. Clang.
Zynga.
Would I have had enough time below deck to make a short rest modification to my armor?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Going to for the DM, I'm going to switch my armor model to the infiltrator.
Ooh.
And cast guidance on myself.
Nice. Dorian's gonna stay in his normal mortal form. His skin his skin changes a little bit, as he gets into combat, his facial features become less defined, he becomes a little sharper. Almost like someone has reduced the quality of the sculpt of his body. He almost looks kind of like he's sort of sculpted out of clay sometimes. But in this case, it's someone stopped rounding the edges and sort of sketched him out a little more. He becomes a little grayer. His hair becomes a little more sharpened and spiky as he sort of gets himself ready and begins sort of reaching into the air, sort of stretching out. And as he does, you can see the air sort of condense beneath his hands as he sort of begins to pull it into a rope. And he's sort of on standby. He's holding an action. As soon as this thing comes within 30 feet, he has something that like.
Well, we're actually going to go into proper initiative for this.
Yes.
So I'd like all of you to roll initiative.
I was just about to do something before we entered.
That's fine.
Now I'm gonna have to do it on my turn. Boo.
Gonna add my guidance to my initiative. Oof. Big oof. Yep.
I've already added my modifier. Wait, did you roll a D? You rolled a D4, Matt.
No, that's my guidance.
Oh, okay.
You can, for the folks at home, an initiative check is a skill check, so you can do things like add add guidance to it.
Oh, nice.
That's why the bard's what do you call it? Jack of all trades ability works on initiative rolls.
Exactly.
Oh. Never thought of that. That's fair.
Learn something new every new. Yeah. Good to know I'll be getting in there sooner.
Okay. So. Okay, so we have a 15 for Rio, a 10 it looks like. No, is it a 9 for Shale and for Dorian?
9 for Shale.
Dorian just rolled a 9, yeah.
Okay, let you go decide who goes first.
You can go first. You're on deck, so.
Okay.
I'll get to you in just a moment.
Roger.
Katarina gets behind the ship's wheel and brings you about. You can see that she has these several levers next to it that help control the engine. And she picks up speed and basically goes on a ramming course toward this huge fish. And this thing is as you get closer, is massive. It's probably about 8 feet long, the end of its snout to the end of its tail, and almost as wide around as Rio is. This thing is just huge, but it has very sleek sides to its body. Its scales are so small. It's almost like this shark skin style of just it looks like just chrome coming at you.
Nice.
That's kind of scary.
Make it my new friend.
Well, first up is actually going to be fish. We're going to start about 120 feet away, but this thing flies very fast as it begins darting in, and it's actually going to it's swimming at this intense speed. You get it to a point where it's about 60 feet away, and you can see that it swims and swims, and then it's going to dash ahead, and it's going to end its turn about 30 feet from the side of the ship. So next is actually going to be Rio. So it's about 30 feet off the starboard side.
Okay. I am trying to figure out what my best option here is. Okay. What I am going to do, I am going to, first as my action, I am going to hit it with Eldritch Blast. I think I'm just gonna just be like, hey buddy, keep your distance. And I'm just gonna basically the eyes light up with the green smoke, and I just start throwing evil whale spirit energy at this bad boy. Let's see how that goes. And I throw 2 as a level 5. 19 to hit.
19 just hits.
And 11 to hit, which won't hit. But 10 damage from the first one. And then I will bonus action go into a rage. Just get pumped up and go, all right, buddy, if you're gonna get that close, I'm gonna have to get you away from us, because this is about as safe a distance as I'm willing to have you.
Well, yeah, you send off these like blasts, and they look like small, kind of like shimmering red and black, like ghostly whales, like flying out and smashing into the side of this huge fish. And like as you do, you like rage, and this thunderclap appears, and you can see this giant ghostly fell whale appearing behind you.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Next is Ekaterina, who is going to try to help pilot the ship, and she's going to actually move it and steer it basically into the Barracuda, and like bring you all in.
All right, now that makes sense now.
I feel like Shale and Katarina have more in common than she wants to admit.
Well, as she does, she's going to bring the ship in and scoot it forward about 30 feet to the starboard side and bring it about. So the Barracuda fish is basically right next to the railing of the deck. As she starts screaming and bringing the ship in. And she will give a command to Shale. So you are going to have a D6 bonus to an attack roll on your turn.
Nice.
I can.
She just basically screams out, "Kill the fucking thing!" And next is going to be Dorian.
Okay. So Dorian this whole time has been sort of like pulling on this air as he's been waiting for this thing to get close enough. And once it gets real, like, it doesn't need to be super close. It needs to be within 30 feet. It's been from the beginning of the round. But he's been sort of waiting as he sees everyone doing their bit and realizing that, like, this thing might take a little bit of, like, a heavier strike to deal with than, like, the mild, relatively smaller life on the ground floor Bolarius. The wind he begins pulling sort of goes taut, and it condenses into, like, a very thick, almost like channel of rope, like a windy rope, and he just sort of pulls it back and like unleashes it at this thing. I'm gonna be casting Force Whip.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do this at 3rd level. So they need to make a DC. I believe my modifier right now, if this will expand all the way, thank you, is 14. If it fails, then I get to knock it prone or pull it 20 feet closer to me, and it takes 4d10 force damage. If it succeeds, it takes half that and doesn't get pushed or knocked down. Which Dorian is going to try to knock this thing out of the sky. Like, literally just send it down for a couple of stories and maybe out of our way.
Alright. So it's, you said con save?
No, it's dexterity.
Dex.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty dexterous.
I figured.
That is a 21.
Oh, yeah, no, it succeeds. So it still takes half of 4d10. So let's see what that gets me. So 4d10. Slapper. So 25 divided by 5, or divided by 2. What do you got?
Okay.
So,
Got it.
12 points of damage. Still not bad. So Dorian sort of winds it up and almost like a weighted rope, just kind of lashes it out at it and cracks it. And you can feel like the pulse of air off as he does so. And he pulls it back around his hands and kind of swirls it around in like a very tight, almost like hurricane-like force gale around his hands. And he's very much sharpened to a point now. He almost kind of looks like that One Punch Man villain when in the first season. You know what I'm talking about? The one with the one eye. It's kind of at that point where he's like very smudgy around the corners and clearly like in a hostile getaway kind of vibe. He's very much like puffed himself up to be like almost a territorial defense kind of thing.
Also, thank you for using my my spell, Omni. Appreciate you.
It's a cool spell. I love that spell.
It's based off of a 3.5 spell that I liked, also called Force Whip. But yeah,
It's so cool.
is it? You see it distorts its body to avoid the worst of it, but you still did a little bit. That's not bad. Next up is going to be Shale. Now with your full movement, you can get onto the deck of the ship.
My if it comes up, my this version also gives me +5 movement. You can kind of hear like she's like, "I got it, I'm ready," and like out of the door, her mech comes like stomping out, kind of taking a corner hard and tipping hard, like it's kind of a little top heavy, like it's been modified. The dome, her like protective hatch is down, and she's clearly like taken the arms off and put them on backwards, and out of the back are these two like prongs that are like crackling with electricity. She has switched her mech into turret mode,
Hell yeah!
and
Heck yeah.
she lets off a crack of lightning. So I'm gonna do my first attack, and that D6 is to the attack roll, or
It's to the attack roll.
so first shot.
Go ahead and roll your
Do-do-do.
d6. That'll
20.
hit. That'll hit.
Nice.
For 5 lightning damage, I rolled like minimum. Jesus.
Well, we do have an advantage in the chat for whoever needs it.
Second attack. I was just talking about that extra attack.
Thank you, Bun.
Much
And
love,
the
Bon.
second
Thank you.
attack is an 11, so she's a little unsteady. She's
Well,
got to
you-
like.
Don't forget, you have advantage.
Oh yes, I will use it then. Excuse me.
Wow, we have one for Shale, one for Rio, and one for Dorian.
All right, that one's 20
20 hits.
for
Another
9
nine.
lightning damage. And can I use Fury of the Small on that
Yeah.
one?
Absolutely, you can.
Taste my lightning, fucker!
Yes.
Fury of the Small adds 3 damage. I
Oh,
can
yeah.
use it.
Well, you blast it with this lightning, and you can see it kind of like seizes up a little bit at that. You all have bloodied it at this point, but the Sky Barracudas like this are so incredibly aggressive, like they do not give up.
Yeah, we're like kind of in owlbear territory.
Yeah. Oh, we have another advantage from Chris. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it. Oh god, he has all those channel points from being in the stream.
That's oh god, that's the best when you play in a stream and you're like, oh, I'm not there today. I will be though.
I did that. Oh, we have a disadvantage from Art. I did that on Red Stream for going through. I dropped like 8 fucking rerolls in the chat.
I do that all the time in Derek's. I pop in and I'm like, oh, divine intervention. I'm a benevolent god.
Okay. So
Oh, Ty gave it to Alec.
yeah, the disadvantages.
Oh.
I assumed it was for me. So next will be the Scabbard Barracuda, which is actually going to try and slam itself right into Shale and take a big bite into your mech suit. A disadvantage. 17.
Miss. I'm 19.
Okay, that's what I figured. So,
Clang.
just like slam, and then it's. Oh, we have another disadvantage. Damn. All right. Well, second attack will be a disadvantage. Ooh, nope. Miss.
Oh,
As
fancy here.
it's
The-
trying, and it's like chewing on like the metal arms, but just like can't actually get through. And you can see it kind of like, shakes its entire like head and body. Like it doesn't understand. It's like normally when I bite things, they are meat. I don't.
What is this shiny meat?
I can't eat this. Yeah, fancy's a hard nut to crack.
Okay. Well, fantastic. Yeah. It is going to swim past you onto the deck and begin to like move over by the captain's wheel by Ekaterina. I will say it does not provoke opportunity attacks because it does have flyby. But next up is going to be Rio. It's on the deck, not terribly far from you.
You're muted, I think.
Okay, there we go. Thank you.
Hey.
I was muted because there was construction behind me, and trying to be polite, and apparently, I'm gonna get roused for it. That's fine.
Literally behind you, like in the room behind you, there's some guy
In
with
the
a
room
saw.
behind me, there was a very large construction happening. You can't see it because I have special equipment. Yeah, I'm gonna run up. I'm gonna hit it. Unfortunately, I did roll a 9 to hit it, so that's not.
You have
gonna
advantage.
Oh, I have advantage.
Bond gave everyone advantage.
Go.
Even
That's
worse.
an 8 to hit. Let's do it.
Yeah, you move up and you're
Uh,
like, swoop, and it goes right past them.
I guess then as a bonus action, I will form of dread. So I get even spookier. As now Garavia takes a extra solid form behind me. And I gain some temporary hit points and I get spookier.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's a wisdom save for them, I think.
I have to hit them with an attack.
You have to hit them with an attack. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. You can see you can hear the thunder again, and there's like the huge like ghostly form of Gravia behind you becomes even more horrifying to see.
Ow. I of course don't realize.
But next is Ekaterina, who she keeps one hand on the captain's wheel, and as you can see she takes her harpoon and she slams it into the side of the Barracuda, which that is absolutely going to hit, and just because she's going to smite it.
Must be nice.
Maybe.
Okay. That'll be 31 damage. No. Yeah, 31 damage. She, focuses, and you can see the head of the harpoon glows as if lit from within, this bright, like radiant ambient light, and it just pierces into the side of the barracuda fish, and see like twists and rips the like hooked harpoon head back out of the side of the fish. As she's just like screaming. She's going to attack it for a second attack. Oh, natural one. Okay, that seems about right.
Right.
As she's like trying to get it a second time, a strong wind like sends the decking like turning just enough that she actually like has to grab the captain's wheel and readjust, and it just throws her harpoon off. Next up is Dorian.
All right. So, as Dorian watches this thing just like blasting its way across the deck, I kind of get the same feeling of like when you see those videos of like deep sea fishermen and they like reel in a marlin or a swordfish and the thing jumps on deck and just sort of messes its way around, like slapping crap around because it's like a 250-pound fish. Like I figure this is the same sort of thing, but it's actually even more dangerous. So
Yeah.
Dorian, as he's watching this, like that hurricane force gale in his hands, he kind of just wraps it around himself and just puts his hand out and almost airbender style unleashes it with a soundless howl. And there's this sonic boom as he's going to cast Gust of Wind at second level on this thing from him in a straight line at this creature to blast him off the deck. To blast the Barracuda off of us and back away. So
Okay.
it does need to make a strength saving throw. Again, the
Now-
DC is currently 14.
Not very strong, actually. It's dexterous, which is okay. How far does Gust of Wind send it?
It's not extreme. It's 15 feet away from where it was.
Well,
So-
here's the thing, because we just had this happen in the chat. You send off this blast of wind, and you see the entire barracuda fish like reel and begin to spin and like fly off the side of the decking. And you hear as you see this massive shape loom up out of a cloud as it slams
God.
into the side of a whale flying next to the ship. And
Oh, God.
you can see like Ekaterina's eyes go wide. She's like holding her harpoon, and the whale itself is massive. Obviously, it's this huge. It looks similar to a sperm whale, but you can see it has like two large eyes on the side of its head, and it has 4 sets of fins along its side, and then unlike a normal sperm whale, it has this massive dorsal fin that almost looks serrated on one side of like these huge spines. But a Bolarian sky whale just up out of a cloud as the barracuda fish just like slams into it. And I will say it had 2 hit points left, so it just and the impact with the whale is enough that it knocks out and like begins careening down to the ground. But Ekaterina's like, whale! And just starts screaming. So guess what? I'm gonna add this whale to the initiative because you guys are all fighting a whale now.
Oh my God.
To be
I mean,
clear,
we're out whaling.
didn't we all absorb a piece, a rock that had the location of every whale on it? So
Well-
did we know this whale was here?
Were we focused on it? Is the thing, right? Like,
I just like to think that everybody was
Oh.
like, "Oh, actually, that makes sense. I thought there was a whale nearby."
we felt a sense of dread. It was actually not the Barracuda.
It was a whale.
So
Classic.
Someone gave the
Oh.
whale advantage.
hell yeah, thank you, appreciate.
Someone gave the whale advantage.
So
That's gonna be interesting.
here's the thing: the mental map, it gives you all of the whales that have descended from when the basilica was created.
Mm-hmm.
There are a few whales missing, but I will say you guys are primarily focused on that pod of whales right now. But yeah, there are some whales that can sneak up on you, or that you can't predict.
Sneaky whales. Forgot about sneaky whales.
So, yep. Now you got a fucking whale, and
They were whaling.
so that was Dorian. Next is going to be Shale.
I will say, after he blasts that, his eyes just go wide, and he just like sort of his shape goes from being like spiky to a little bit like somewhat more like crestfallen for a second before it's like, okay, I guess we're doing this and becoming aggressive again.
All
Right,
right.
Captain yelled whale. So,
Yep.
aye, aye, Captain.
All right. I rolled initiative for it, so.
All right. Shale's gonna flip a couple of switches, and then go down her. She's gonna go down the dashboard of her mech with her hand, like she's like going across the keyboard and just hitting all the buttons. And then the backpack kind of splits and slides open, and like compartments on the forearms open up, and it's just full of tiny little missiles.
Oh yeah.
Have you is anyone familiar with the term the Itano Circus?
Yes.
Because here it comes. Okay, I'm going to cast Shatter.
Absolutely fantastic. Con
Four.
save.
19
Ooh,
thunder damage.
That's going to be a 17 on its con save, so just succeeds. But I'll take half of that.
And just a swarm of tiny missiles flies out of her suit.
I love it. Macross Missile Massacre.
Ina says they have enough points to summon another whale. Please. That would be hilarious.
God damn it.
Oh,
Please
man.
don't.
Gonna be fighting whales for the next like 3 sessions.
What a cool, chill campaign this. No, we're jeez.
I was gonna say, one whale, maybe we got this. Two whales, we run.
This
I love
is
that we were like
a whaling adventure. Like
I do just like that we were like, yeah, wow, we had a real struggle with that combat with all 4 of us. Well, goodbye, one of our members. I'm sure we won't have any problems now.
Oh god, we did lose a hunter. That is gonna be slightly a
I'm
problem.
not in it.
Chris.
okay, I will say
Chris.
you do have Ekaterina, and there's also, don't forget the harpoon up on the fore of the ship.
It's
That's
not
true.
Harl's, now is it? No.
Unfortunately, it doesn't have the ability to give us pearls of wisdom, but
Yeah.
it is a giant sharp thing, so that is a thing.
But like I said, don't forget, if you take down this whale, that's a huge payday immediately right out of the gate.
Oh, I'm ready.
Your 1st
I'm not-
day.
I'm not at ammo yet.
Okay, but I will say yes. Your shatter like hits the side of it. It's like all the little missiles impacted, and you hear this like huge, just like bellow from the whale as it is like swimming, and it's about 15 feet off of the side of the ship, like away from the side of the deck. Oh, thank you. We have a couple more advantages from Chris. That's nice. All right.
There's a cloud that looks like Harl's inspiring you.
Anything else for Shale?
I'm good.
Okay. Next is going to be Rio.
Oh boy. Okay. Raging. Not much I can do beyond that. Okay. I'm gonna hit it. That's what I'm gonna do. It's a 22 to hit.
That hits. I will say it's 15 feet off the side. What's your?
I'm gonna jump on this bad boy.
Fantastic.
Can I do that?
Absolutely, you can.
I'm gonna jump and I'm gonna hit it. Roll some damage. There's gonna be 14 plus so 16 damage.
Okay.
And then it needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. It fails. I mean, I assume a 10 fails.
Yes, 10 does fail.
Okay.
And so it is frightened of me until the end of my next turn. And also, because I am an ancestral guardian barbarian, it has disadvantage on any attack that isn't against me.
Okay.
And now to land on this thing, do I need to make a check of any kind? I imagined it was big enough to just jump on, but
Yeah. Ending your turn on it, I need you to make actually make a athletics check to end your turn. Otherwise, you're gonna start tumbling off the side of it about 5,000 feet up in the air.
do you have advantage on those because I'm raging? That is going to be 17.
As you leap across leap off of the deck onto the side of the whale, you slam the gift from gravity into it, and you kind of spin along its back, and you were on its back holding onto its huge dorsal fin, just slamming your weapon into it. It is you're holding on. You're holding on.
Okay.
But it is now beginning to thrash a little more wildly because it is frightened of you.
Great. I'm spooky.
Ooh.
This is a gift. It's not a gift of death. This is a gift. If you guys take it down, that's a huge payday.
I don't feel great about it, but I think that is the end of my turn.
Okay. Well, next is the whale. Which
Thought it might be.
it is going to begin to move and try, and it can't really get away from you because you're on it. So it's just gonna keep swimming alongside the actual ship, but it is going to try and make a tail attack against the ship, which is at disadvantage.
Advantage. Yep.
Okay, it's massive tail lifts up and you can all feel the impact of the wind as the ship kind of rocks back and forth. It just narrowly misses the ship with its tail.
Right.
Okay. And it like I said, lets out another loud bellow. Next is Ekaterina, who can see that you have leapt off of the deck. And she's furious, but she's going to run over to the side of the ship, take her harpoon, heft it up and throw it, and try and impact into the side of the whale. Which hits. Roll some damage here. Fantastic. And she will add on to that. Fantastic. And then you can see as her harpoon flies out, it impacts into the side of the whale's blubber, and she holds her hand out and closes it into a fist, and as she does, the harpoon pulls away out of the whale's blubber and back into her hand, and then she's going to throw it and do it one more time.
Very cool.
Okay, that's absolutely going to hit. So add on to that too. So rather take this thing down fast. And she pulls the harpoon back once more. She'll use a bonus action to give an order to Dorian. And she commands you to go to the harpoon thrower. If you use the harpoon thrower, you'll have advantage on your attack with it.
Oh boy! I'm sure good with base attack rolls. It's okay. So my turn, I believe now?
Now it's you.
I believe so.
Okay. So genuine question. Do I have proficiency with that thing?
Do you have proficiency with vehicles?
I'm a druid. I am my vehicle. I don't think I actually have proficiency with it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't.
In that case, what kind of weapons are you proficient with?
I am a druid, so clubs, daggers, darts, javelins, spears, mace, quarterstaff, scimitar, sickle, and sling. I'm sorry, I'm a druid. They specifically list the exact weapons I'm qualified with. I don't have a class I'm qualified with.
So you would not be proficient with this, but thankfully it has a static modifier already.
Okay.
So for you, it'd be a d20 plus 4, and then you can add your dexterity modifier to that.
Okay. So, all right. So +4 plus Dex mod, which is 0, so just +4. So Dorian,
Since she gave you the order, you'll have advantage with it too.
Right, yeah. So Dorian, seeing Rio leap onto the back of the whale, as he was gusting wind in its direction, immediately seeing you leap over, like just grabs the wind he's throwing, like his face becomes like the shocked expression. Again, mouthless because he's not speaking. He's too busy for that. So reaches over and grabs with his hands, grabs the wind he's throwing out, and just sort of wrenches it until it comes apart in his hands, and the wind immediately dies down. He's gonna end the that was a concentration spell, but it's fine. So he's gonna end the concentration spell, getting the order, look at Katarina, then look at the thing, just nod and sprint towards it, and slide into the chair, ratchet it over with a loud clanking sound, sort of lean down to look through the crosshair, and just sort of like, this is how it works, right? Just put his hand on the triggering lever, just and pulls it back and fires. So we're looking at d20 plus 4. We're gonna just roll. I'll just roll 2 of them, and we'll just take whichever one's higher. So roll. So 18 plus 4 is 22.
Okay. So I will say I forgot my own rule. I said advantage. I meant it's a plus a d6. Excuse me. That one's on me. But I will say you got advantage from art anyway.
All right.
So we'll go, and also 18 was the first one we rolled. But so you can add a d6 to this as well. I mean, you hit it, but just so I can be consistent with my own rules, because I changed it last night, so that's why.
That's fair.
All right. All right.
No, you're good. So that's like 27 after modifiers, because the base plus 4, now the plus 5.
Yeah. And Chris reminded everyone still has a reroll from Chris as well. Thank you, everyone in chat, for all of these.
That's right.
Rerolls and everything.
Go. We're gonna
Definitely
kick this whale's
helping us.
ass.
Our little dinghy whaling over here.
All right. Well, it's going to be 3d10 piercing damage.
Okay, 3d10 piercing damage. Let's see. 3d10. Wait. 18.
Fantastic. And the ship is now tethered to the whale, so it has to make a save to try and break the tether. But you feel this like lurch as the whale is trying to pick up speed and like get away, but the ship is connected to it now.
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely fantastic. Alrighty. Well, then next is going to be Shale.
Oh, I'm going to save my second level spell slot in case Rio gets into trouble. And I am going to switch to... I'm just going to make my attacks with my lightning launchers.
Okay.
So first attack. 16 to hit.
16. 16 hits. Yes.
All right. So, God, I got minimum again. What is going on there? D6 plus 4. Okay. plus. Okay, yeah. Double check and make sure it was doing it correctly. I'm gonna add Fury of the Small to that and make that a 8.
Okay.
And then I'm going to make a second attack. And that one's a 20. And it does 8 damage. So 2 hits, 8, 16. So 16 lightning damage total.
Very nice. The
And
whale kind of bellows loudly. You all have stacked up a lot of damage pretty fast, and you're tethered to it. It is very upset. It's just like trying to get away. Okay.
and that'll be my turn. I don't really have any bonus actions.
Fantastic. Well, after you, next is going to be Rio. You're on the back of the whale.
That I am, and you know I'm gonna hit it again, and I'm just say this is actually good. Actually, it's hard to explain, but this is a natural thing, and I'm gonna hit it again. 23 to hit.
That hits. Okay.
Only 5 damage.
Plus your rage bonus.
Or I guess, yeah, so it's actually 7 damage.
Okay.
And it does need to make another wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Nat 20 on that.
Okay, so it is not frightened of me this round.
Probably good.
I will say, like, even though you all are, like, impacting into the whale with all of your attacks, it's focused more so not on attacking you, but more so just, like, moving and trying to, you see it's, like, trying to get away. It doesn't seem as upset now, it's just determined to try and get away from people. Which is probably good, because we do want to avoid a fell whale situation.
Yeah.
We're happy about the whale. That's good. You just got them a huge payday because they're taking it down. Anything else you'd like to do?
We got
Okay,
to
you
our.
can. I think you. No, you cannot attack twice because you multi-classed. Okay. Next is the whale.
We're looking for whales. The whales came to us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We're like, we'll be traveling for days and days and weeks to get to the whale pod. Whale
I found
emerges.
one.
Oh, gee.
Yeah.
Whale immediately.
Whale.
I yell to the cat and I say, "Is this normal? Do whales normally show up this quickly?"
No. Not normal.
Oh,
Chris,
weird.
suck it, whale. Disadvantage to whale.
Damn it.
Disadvantage to whale.
That
Okay.
right there should be a shirt. Disadvantage to whale.
Alright.
Oh god, it's just like real life.
Oh, sad.
Okay, well, the first roll is a crit, so let's see what the disadvantage is going to bring.
Oh.
Alright, well,
Is it?
it is feast or famine over on this side. That's a natural 1.
Yeah. I guess.
Saved us from a crit.
Technically, a strict average.
Grandpa Wooly rides with us.
It, like I said, it bellows once more and it brings its tail, like, careening to try and slam into the side of the ship. But the harpoon launcher, like, you can, like, pull on the rope enough that the ship is, like, moved out of the way and its tail just, like, slaps down, missing completely. It's going to actually begin descending, and you can, like, feel the entire ship lurch, like, leaning down. Can you all make a dexterity save for me, please? With the exception of Rio, because you're already on the back of the whale holding on.
Ooh, I just got worried.
Okay. We do have, is it advantage or D6 to it now, as I recall?
This is, well, I think you all still have rerolls from...
A reroll.
Okay.
I'm gonna use
Chris.
mine.
Straight 10.
Oh, worse.
Okay.
If I
As
add them
it-
together, it's a 10.
As it begins, like, descending down, like, the fore of the ship, like, tilts downward, and Shale, you begin, like spinning as you, like, slam into the aft castle. You are knocked prone. As for Dorian,
No.
you're in the seat, so you're, like, you almost slip out of the seat of the harpoon launcher, but you, like, hold yourself back down. You just made it.
I rolled that 10 and I was like, do I risk it? Do I risk it? It's technically a base pass for many tests.
I'm gonna
Meanwhile,
spend a charge on my armor of magical strength to not be knocked prone instead.
as you, like, poof, you're, like, falling forward and your armor just ping and, like, sets you back on your feet as the ship begins to right itself. Ekaterina, you notice, is, like, magnetically locked to the deck with her boots.
Must be nice.
Uh,
I like how Alec was like, huh. Oh yeah, no, you guys want to do this? All right, I'm gonna give you a character who's really good and really good at it. So when you guys fuck up, it looks extra bad because this person's good at this.
At least we're not dying.
yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Feels like a low bar, but I'll take it.
So that was the whale. Next is Ekaterina, who they are going to focus and cast a spell. So they hold the harpoon up in front of them, then extend their arms out to either side, and this massive stone harpoon head appears over the head of the whale. It's probably about 20 feet long and about 5 or 6 feet wide, as it just like and descends down and pierces down into the top of the whale's head. She's going to cast Fist of Vengeance, and that will absolutely work. So it's going to take some boom, as it's instantly like more than bloodied and just and the whale like begins to careen down even further. Not enough that you all need to make a save, but you can see it is beginning to spin down toward the ground. Looks like you all are taking down this whale if you can keep it up.
Okay.
But Ekaterina shouts over to Rio, "Get off of there!" And like, she's going to give you an order, so you can roll a d6 on your turn, and that will increase your speed by twice that many feet.
Okay, cool.
And then next is going to be Dorian.
Okay. So this whale is basically getting ready to go down. Dorian is first. He's going to, if it's all right, to use a minor action, like a bonus action for this, to take the rope he has in his around his waist out of his pouch, immediately just cinch it to the chair, and around his waist, so he kind of has like an emergency like fall line in case he gets shaken loose. So think like Treasure Planet, like secure the lines kind of thing. And he's going to do that to the harpoon launcher under him. And he's just going to take a second to make sure the harpoon chain looks like it's good. Like it's not tearing or like being pulled apart at any length of it.
That's good.
Okay. And excellent. Then looking at that and seeing that Rio is kind of like getting ready to leap off, he sort of like stands on top of the harpoon leaning down, and again gets that like spiky kind of like sharpened edge look, and begins to pull the wind into a long strand again, grasps it, and then lashes it out, and he's going to try another force whip. I know this thing is probably very strong and very good at Constitution, but let's see how it is at Dex.
Yeah, get him.
So, it's probably pretty fine, actually, at Dex, but, like, we'll see. So that's 14 you need.
Exactly 14.
Yep, there you go. Okay. That's fair. So, let's see. You know what? Wait. I do have the D6 to add, right? Because we just got it from the chat, or was that something else? That's something else. Okay, never mind.
That's if you're given an order by Academy.
Oh, okay. That's fair. All right, then. So if that's the case, then let's roll it out. So it's going to be 4d10 damage. Wait, half of that, so 10 damage. Magical force.
You send out the whip and it strikes against the whale, which, like I said, is at this point almost in free fall as it's like careening toward the ground. You guys are still several thousand feet up, but you are dropping fast as it is. The heft of it is pulling the entire ship down toward the ground at top speed, like at terminal velocity. Very nice. It's looking rough. It's looking rough. Shale.
All right. Rio's still not back on the ship, so I'm still gonna hang on to my second level spell slot just in case. Let's. Honestly, I'm just gonna keep on shooting it with my lightning launchers. So, I'm gonna do the first shot. 23 for 8 lightning damage.
Very nice.
Second shot, 22 for another 8. And let me see if I still have it. I'm going to use my last Fury of the Small to add 3 more damage to that.
Ugh.
So just didn't even get knocked over. Still just
Yeah.
I feel like there's like an extra kickstand that comes out that keeps her from tipping over while she just completely ignores that she's sliding around and just keeps firing the lightning cannons.
Yeah. You are firing these lightning cannons, and the whale, as it's being struck, you can see Great Katarina's spell, it's the harpoon launcher, the other various attacks, and the whale's eyes, like I said, 2 on either side, close as it's now completely. Its fins are going limp. It's slipping into unconsciousness. It's looks like it's on its last couple little bits here. As it's just and spinning down toward the ground. 1 half solid hit would completely kill this thing as it's moving down. So next is going to be Rio. You're on the back of the whale.
I think the first thing I had to do is jump off this thing, back up onto the ship.
Now this is a little bit harder than last time because it's down, so you're jumping backwards onto the deck.
I imagine I'm gonna roll that D6 here that I got from the captain.
Summon Floof.
Floof.
So my speed increases by 10 feet.
Okay. You can make an athletics check.
I'm gonna do that, and I do have advantage because I'm raging.
22.
22.
All right. What's your full speed now with the increase?
Full speed is 40 feet.
Okay, more than enough. You're holding on to the dorsal fin as it's careening down to the ground. The ship is actually behind it, partly up, and you actually let go and basically just jump, and the force of the momentum and inertia just carries you onto the deck, and you slam hard to the deck and hits the aft castle and push yourself off, and you manage to just barely stay prone without slamming into the castle and then careening off into the sky.
And as my action, I am going to drop my rage, and I am going to reach out my hand towards the whale and close my eyes and say, have peace in your final moments. And I'm going to cast Toll the Dead, but it is going to come in the form of a soothing final whale song from Garavia. So that is a DC 14 wisdom from the whale.
It fails. I feel like even minimum damage you'd take it down, but go ahead and roll.
It's gonna be
2d12.
2d8.
2d12.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Where
it's
he's
wounded.
missing hit points, yes.
Okay, you,
13 damage.
this it's a whale called bellows out. Bravia. You can see the whale's eyes are completely closed as it careens down to the ground, peacefully passing away in its final moments. And you all are pulled downward. Ekaterina rushes over to the captain's wheel, and she keeps a hand out to Dorian, ready to tell you when to release the actual rope, and she holds and holds and holds, letting the momentum carry you all down so that you can land close. And you see the whale slowly slip and just and impact against the ground with this massive just quake. It collapses and hits the ground. It moves for probably at least about 50 feet along the steps. As it's about to impact, she tells you, and you release, and the ship rights itself as she spins and flies in a low circle around the whale. It's quiet for briefest moment. Looks out. She looks at all of you. Oh. Did it.
Dorian just turns at the chair, hand still on the chain release that he pulled. Just slowly turns. This gives Katerina one very deep, knowing nod, and just a very quick thumbs up, which is about as good of a pat on the back as you normally get from him.
Let the cockpit open and stand up on my chair and just yeah.
It's quiet for a brief moment. And she looks back off to the west along the horizon. We're really just a few hours by ship from Paris Bridge. Set out, a few carts, take shiploads. She looks at the sky whale, which has landed peacefully. And even in the just few minutes, you all are kind of catching your breath and relaxing. You can see that where it has impacted, there's this huge drag mark along the ground where it landed and moved forward. This gargantuan body now at rest. But you see that the grasses around begin to sprout little flowers of ding, 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 and popping up out of the ground. She gives, oh, good. Create a blemish. Okay. All right. Now, enough wasting time. There's work to be done. We need to start breaking it down. Get the ambergris immediately, then we'll goes, start taking the fins, and she like sets off immediately, giving you like just a couple minutes to basically catch her breath before she brings the ship down next to the whale's carcass, so you can begin breaking it down. And you see her like surveilling it. This is 1,000 gold at least.
Dorian, I imagine, passes out good berries as we're starting to come down, just to make sure everyone is feeling good. And sort of casts his eyes down when he gets to Katerina towards the giant carcass. And Mouth sort of splits his face as he says, I imagine that'll let you upgrade the ship significantly, wouldn't it?
Yes, it's needed a few repairs.
Maybe some crew?
Maybe. And you see she leaps down off of the deck and like lands on the side of the whale's body, and kind of she like leans down and presses her hand against its blubber. And for a brief moment, it's the most peaceful any of you has ever seen Katerina. A rarity amongst Bolarians. She is a angry, intense woman. But here, see the depth of the respect that she has for these. I'll honor you. Sacrifice. Feed everyone Harris Bridge for a while.
Dorian smiles as he watches it, and he's going to sort of leap off the deck onto the whale as well. And using Druidcraft in his hand, he's going to make a little like copse of vines grow and quickly like sort of entwine and then desiccate until it's just like wood. And it's going to be the shape of a little. It's going to be the shape of a little woolly mammoth. He's just going to place it down on top of it and just give it a pat. And begin to get his scimitar out and begin to harvest.
Okay. We're going to take a. Well, we're actually right at about that time. So I'll tell you what. What are Shale and Rio doing?
Shale's gonna take a minute to reconfigure the suit so that it's more suitable for work. Like it doesn't have manipulators in its turret mode. And then she's going to help she's gonna help the best she can, but this is she's better with dirt and rock, so she probably needs some direction from the captain or yelling from the captain. I feel like she can now.
Yeah, she will gladly go and begin pointing out, to begin breaking down the whale and harvesting the hamburgers from it. Now, in Bolarius, and in all whaling actually, they make sure to honor and use every single part of the whale. Its oil, its blubber, the bones, every single piece. And a sky whale can feed an entire town. But it is a lengthy process. It'll take several hours. In fact, it'll take several days to make the multiple trips to get all of this back to Eris Bridge. But she we'll have to go back to Eris Bridge, get a cart, have it, a couple of carts, and to get all the pieces. They kind of look and why don't you lot stay here? I'll be back with carts probably by the evening. At worst, by tomorrow morning.
All right, I'm gonna start drilling.
Dorian nods and gives her a pouch with 2 good berries in it, just like entwined like a pair of cherries. For evening and morning, you wouldn't need to eat.
Kind of pauses and takes them. What is Rio doing during all of this?
Um, I mean, I think there is definitely some time of just like they sit and allow themselves and Gravia to just kind of soak up some of the good energy from this uh sky blessing, and then I think they go about taking the 10 minutes to summon their swordfish companion here to help move things and carry things here. But as the captain is getting ready to leave, uh, something feels a little off with her. Can I make a insight check on her?
Yeah.
Let's see here. 13.
Okay. Ekaterina is a very intense person. Um, but you can see that as much as she wanted this whale taken down, there's almost a sense of not regret, but there is a sense of like understanding the gravity of the task of taking down. This is this is a key part of any whaler's life here in Bolarius is that while Borbal, the one god that looks over Bolarius, is themselves represented as a sky whale. The things that a sky whale can provide to the dying world is such that its people depend on whaling. It's one of the few things they have that can bring in new life, that can bring in, money and so many supplies and things. It's a crucial part of life. But there is a deep sadness that ties with every whale that is felled. They're beautiful creatures, and the only way to respect um, one when you do down is to make sure that its sacrifice is not in vain. To use every single part of it, so that it can help as many people as possible. And for a rude, selfish, like angry woman, that dichotomy is the most clear at Arena. See that as badly as she wants to take these whales down, as badly as she wants to live for this wild life of adventure, she seems just as intensely affected by the death of the whale. She rides all of her emotions at 11. And
Um,
she seems more intent to be like, okay, I'll go and do this so that she can be alone for a brief moment and not have any of you witness how deeply this hurts her. But I'd say that Rio is a pretty like intuitive person and see that like there's probably even large aspects that you don't understand about the pain that she's feeling, because you can tell like she's in such intense pain about this, even though it is a sacrifice that needs to be made. That she's like, I'll go deal with the cards because she wants to be alone.
um, as she is leaving, I think I just give her a smile and a little wave, and I say to Ravia, I Well, I guess this is the way things go. Might as well make the best of it. I will go join my friends in helping to begin the process of breaking down this whale.
The only thing she takes with her is she does take enough time for you all to get the ambergris, which will go bad if not taken like immediately. But short of that, she nods and heads off, and the ship begins to like putter off back toward Ares Bridge. You can all begin breaking down the whale, and like I said, it is a Herculean task. But you all did a very, very good job with that. And we're going to go ahead and wrap up here for today. And we'll see when Katarina is going to rejoin you next week. And we're going to go ahead and say you all actually, it's a little fast, but I don't care. You're all going to level up with that.
Yeah, let's do it.
I know we don't do experience based, but like if there was ever a moment experience based where we earned a straight up level up after a fight, it's fighting a god whale.
Yeah, that was pretty big. Shout out to who was it that dropped the whale on us? Was that Chris?
That was Ina.
Thank you so much, Ina.
Oh, thank you, Ina.
So, give me 2 seconds. We had a summon Floof a few minutes ago, so I'm going to grab Floof, and then we can do our little outros. Pardon me.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, look at that beautiful extra attack. Oh, it's beautiful.
Let's see.
You go to the builder to level up in D&D Beyond, right?
Yes, manage character and levels.
There we go. Yeah, I'm still not used to this. There we go. Yep, I got you. Level 6. Woo.
Alrighty, everybody. Here we go. We had a summon Floof, and this is what that gets you. It's
well, howdy, Floof.
Hello.
Nice.
Hello, baby.
So, thank you everyone for joining us today. Everyone in chat, dropping all of those channel points for like a whole shitload of rerolls. I'm gonna have to like go back through and count how many. And of course, yes, thank you, Ina, for the summon whale. That was awesome. I was like, oh yeah, a little barracuda fish. That'd be a fun little encounter. Did not realize it would turn into a whale hunt. So, with that, we're going to go ahead. Hey, thank you so much. Appreciate you so much.
Yo,
thank
you, JJ.
Thank you for the sub.
Thank you kindly.
Yes, thanks, JJ. Now, we started with Game Master. Let's start with Matthew this time. Matthew, who are you? What do you got going on?
Very well, Wizards. I'm Matthew. You can find me at MattmanDH, Twitter and Instagram. I'm a illustrator, cartoonist, and DM. I stream with Alec. Next week we're playing Cyberpunk, Phantom Pain. That's gonna be. I'm looking forward to that. That's been like balls to the wall since we started. And then I'm here in Bolarius every Wednesday, and soon I'll be running a game of my own, and I think the Wednesday slot.
On Tuesday.
Is that
It'll
Tuesday?
be alternating with Phantom Pain.
Oh yes, of course. So I'll be DMing that time, so you get to see what that's like. Be running an adventure of my own design called the Squid Menace. So stay tuned for that.
So, yes, I will say we do have a casting call out for Squid Menace. So if you're interested in playing in one of our streams, check out my Twitter. You'll see the casting call posted there, and we're going to keep posting it. Kind of keep it up for probably the next, the rest of this week and to the end of the week after. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to Squid Minute. So if you want to see how Matthew DMs, which I will say Matthew is a fantastic DM, but if you want to play alongside me and see how chaotic and ridiculous I am at ruining all of Matthew's plans when I play, then check out the casting call because we are accepting casting right now.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and I'll recommend it.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you kindly.
Omni.
Hello, everyone. I'm the last Omnitech, your favorite robot American. You guys can catch me at least twice a week, and very soon, much more than that, on Thursdays and on Saturdays, 10:30 a.m. EST, where I do world building, art, and occasionally play video games. You can catch me on Thursdays specifically for the Breakfast Club, where we all hang out. That's going to be tomorrow. We just hang out, chill, play video games, and have ourselves a good time where we talk about things in the TTRPG community with the TTRPG community, and just sort of have a nice little breakfast date. Saturdays, I do active world building during the Stellar Forge, where I work on one of my many different projects. I just started building a D&D setting that I would like to run when I get the chance to go full-time later this year around November. So keep an eye out for that, as well as also my Legacy and Summoner projects for my sci-fi and my high fantasy setting. And other than that, you can find me here on Bolarius. You can find me also on Redemption VA's channel, on his 2 streams on Thursdays. Wednesday tonight on DMDM Studios, I'm going to be playing in a Warhammer 40k Dark Heresy campaign run by Lost Haven Art. And on on Saturdays as well on DMDM Studios, you can catch me on either Covet or on Lancer. But not this week. This week, actually, Saturday, I'm taking off. It's going to be a lovely day this weekend, so...
What are you doing on Saturday?
I don't know. How about Florida Creator Con with a couple of my local Florida creators?
Yes.
We'll keep it on the DL, but I may or may not have been in chat with both of them. I may or may not have played with both of them in this stream. I don't know. Maybe you'll have to find out.
Anyway,
So,
Omni's going to wake up on Sunday with no kidneys.
Yeah, it's fine. I didn't need them anyway. They're superfluous. It's really more to get past X-rays more than anything else.
Yeah.
I'm actually moving to Florida just to qualify for this event. Yeah. So that's
Oh,
so I'll see you there, folks.
All right. And then with that, Gaynor, tell the people what you got going on.
Yeah, well, my name's Gaynor. You can find me on Twitter and other social medias at Gaynorcott. That's GAYNORCOTT. I am a actor, TTRPG enthusiast. You can see me all over the place, primarily here on Wednesdays and also monthly over on twitch.tv/ThornyDryad, running hashtag UForce Inheritance, mass actual play that is absolutely lovely. If you're interested in the children's series Warriors, I have a podcast called Two Light Talks. That is just a grand old time to listen to. Got some great upcoming projects that I am excited about. So follow me on Twitter for updates on those.
Hell yeah. Alrighty. Well, thank you very much, Gaynor. Like I said, I always love the energy that Rio brings. So it's a thrill to have you here. And if you're watching this, you probably know who I am, but otherwise I am Alakazam, a pro DM, purveyor of all things homebrew, a butcher, baker, candlestick maker, I think. But
I've never received a candlestick in the mail from you. And
it's because I'm too busy with my butchering and baking. Now, I do several streams a week right now on Tuesdays. Yes, every other Tuesday I'm doing Cyberpunk Phantom Pain, a cyberpunk campaign inspired by gears of a metal nature that are legally distinct. Please do not sue me, Konami or Kojima. I'm such a huge fan. Please don't sue me. And then, of course, yes, Matthew and I will be doing Squid Menace, which we have our casting call. You can check that out on my Twitter. Every Wednesday, obviously, here running Bolarius, which is the incredible, whaling inspired setting created by Bogus Cheesecake. And then every Thursday, I'm either playing in Redemption VA's Cyberpunk stream, What's Yours Is Mine, playing Fireball, a absolutely insane Ukrainian man. And I alternate that with Curious Creations with Sea Levered Art, where we homebrew stuff live on air, creating either horrific monsters or I've created some subclasses, items, monsters, spells, all sorts of stuff, and Chris illustrates all that nonsense live on air. So if you want to see homebrew being made live, including illustrations to go with it, check us out every other Thursday. You can see Chris's art here in the corner. It's this character art that is absolutely amazing. And beyond that, I also do have a few games available, so if you're interested in playing one of my games that is not streamed, I run, right now, 14 games a week. I'm going on, I still have a couple time slots open, because I've been doing 12 to 15 games a week for the past, 2 years, so please, join in if you want to play. I offer more than just D&D. I also do Cyberpunk, Lancer, Vampire the Masquerade, Thirsty Sword Lesbians, Blaze in the Dark, a few others. So, thank all of you for watching, and of course you can check out this episode and all the other episodes of Skies Bolarius on my YouTube, which is now under my card on my Twitter. So if you missed an episode, do not fear. You can get caught up anytime you like. And we're gonna go ahead and raid into somebody who is available. God mode. We'll raid into God mode. Well, thank you everyone. Stay magical, my friends, and what do we say, Matthew?
Remember, wizards, keep on whizzing.
Keep on whizzing. Absolutely, keep on whizzing. Yeah,
Gross.
It's not gross. Talking about wizard stuff.
Whizzing.
Yeah.
Gross.
Whiz-biz.
Oh god.
Yeah, all that whiz business. Goodbye.
Whizness.
See ya.